Good morning, everybody. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to beat the heat. It's gonna get pretty hot, and I skipped out on the pancakes, and going to see if I can get up through here before it gets just dying hot, and just kind of take my time. Had a real good night last night, and there's a lot of people at that shelter and everything. Didn't get too cool. It's probably about 74 out here right now. If I had to guess, I didn't have to have a coat on. I didn't have to have my underquilt last night, so it stayed pretty warm. So we'll see if we can get on up through here. October Mountain Shelter. See, we got bunks over there. Tell you what, it's starting to heat up out here. I ain't but about 5 miles from camp. We're gonna go to the K something shelter, but it's right before going into town. But I'll tell you what, it's about 85 out here. She's hot. I stopped at the cookie lady's house a while ago and recharged my phone and got some water and a cookie and some lemonade that she had gave, and left me a donation and rolled on out through there. I'm glad I got out of there this morning. There's a couple hills this morning coming out of the Goose Pond that I'm glad I'm not climbing right now. I've still got, I think, about a 600-foot climb to the shelter, but I'm glad I ain't got to do all that other. But anyway, it is heating up. Saw some moose droppings a while ago. I was asking that guy at the cookie lady's house, and he said this is about as far south as they come. He said he had heard about one hanging around that October shelter, but he said he hadn't seen it or anything, but did see some. It was droppings like I'd never seen before. I didn't Google it or anything, but I assume it's probably moose droppings. Just climbed up Warner Hill, 2,050 feet. Our first view for today. Okay, wood shelter and campsites. There's the privy. Bear box. Got a deck there, and then up there there's one. Old caboose. Here in Dalton, Massachusetts. The Fitch Hoose House, 1846. The Fitch Hoose House has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 2010 by the United States Department of the Interior. Good morning, everybody. Left camp about 4:30 this morning. and decided to try to get a little bit start on the heat today. I'm going to go to the top of Mount Greylock and stay at the lodge. Got us a bunk reserved, and then see what the rain and stuff. There's supposed to be some rain coming in this afternoon, so we're just kind of waiting and seeing. Went into Dalton, stopped at a convenience store, got me a little breakfast this morning, and just been trucking along. Feels good out here right now. Temperature didn't drop all that much last night, but it does feel good. So just gonna slowly make our way up through here today. Goose Pond. Looks more like a beaver bog. Wow.
I wish they were open.
Cheshire snowplow. They're proud of their cheese here. Mammoth cheese, 1235. Presented to President Thomas Jefferson, January 1st, 1802. A monument to the guy that Elder John Leland that helped secure our First Amendment. Climbing Mount Greylock. It's hot out here. It's about 12:30. Almost to the top, about 3 miles from the top, trying to beat a storm that's coming in. We're going to stay at the lodge up here. So anyway, this mountain ain't for the faint of heart. And one of the hardest climbs we've had in a while. So anyway, it'll get that heart pumping, blood going through, and the sweat pouring. I don't think I have a stitch of dry clothing anywhere. But it's been a good day. We stopped at Dunkin' Donuts in Cheshire before we came up, and I got a slushie at that gas station. It cooled me down a little bit, and it was free donut day, or National Donut Day or something. Got a free donut and a Gatorade. So anyway, trying to truck it on. The top of Greylock. The War Memorial at the top of Mount Greylock and the summit. Oh, wow. Oh, pretty neat lodge.
Ready. How was that shower?
I gotta remember to tell them this is what it's like. In Vermont, New Hampshire.
Bascom Lodge on top of Greylock Mountain. It was built 1932.
There you go. That's
The War Memorial on top of Mount Greylock. A relief map. The scale of the surrounding area of Mount Greylock. Erected by Massachusetts in great recognition of the loyalty and sacrifice of her sons and daughters in war. They were faithfully even into death. It's the inscription on the monument. The Massachusetts Veterans War Memorial. This tower stands as a memorial to the men and women of Massachusetts fallen while in service of our nation. It commemorates their sacrifice and reminds us of their devotion and hope and peace. The tower's design reinforces its purpose. Outside, the monument dominates the landscape and inspires respect, while the inner chamber provides a space for contemplation. The inner chamber, bronze and marble details and colorful mosaic ceiling create an elegant setting. Poetry prompts us to consider the meaning of courage and sacrifice. It's got a sculpted American bald eagle perches above the door as the giant seal of the United States. The eagle holds 13 arrows in its left talon, representing the 13 colonies fought for freedom. In its right talon, the olive branch symbolizes nature's desire for peace. The beacon, it's enclosed in a 12-foot spear and is visible for 70 miles. The brilliant light shines as a landmark and reminder of the tower's enduring meaning. The staircase is a spiral staircase, 89 steps, leads to a viewing platform, which is closed right now because of the weather. It's been storming all evening. Top of the tower, the long climb yields spectacular 90-mile views east across Massachusetts, north to Vermont, west of New York, and south in Connecticut. They were faithful even unto death. This tower was dedicated in 1933. It's made for slabs of Quincy granite that weigh as much as 8 tons. The epigrams are from the First World War era poets. The summit extreme weather conditions have led to many restoration efforts. In 1974, the state entirely rebuilt the tower. In 1840, the first tower was a weather observatory put up by Williams College students. 1885, visitors paid 10 cents to climb the tower. And then 1932, awaiting its globe-shaped beacon, the tower that remains standing today is nearly complete. Oh wow. Here it is.
Of the black something warbler.
Good morning, everybody. We didn't get to go up on top of this thing yesterday. We got here too late. They shut her down when the storms just come through, and then we stayed at the lodge, ate dinner, and actually got me a lunch up here, a couple of lunches, and then for my dinner. But then last night they had a pretty bad thunderstorm come through, and from up here on the mountain we saw a couple funnel clouds dropping down in the valley, which was pretty neat to see. But they didn't have no tornado or anything like that. But I ate breakfast this morning at the lodge, and it's about 9:30, so just kind of starting off this morning down the mountain. I'm only going to do probably about 13 miles today, 13 or 16, I'm not really for sure, since we got kind of a later start. But just going to see what we can achieve. But everything's wet out. Got some hard rains up here, but I think the coolest thing was looking out the window. Everybody's around the window trying to see the funnel cloud when it dropped down. Little picnic hut right there. Everything's a little bit wet, so just trying to be careful not to fall. But probably about 55 degrees out this morning. Supposed to be cool today and for a couple days, so I'm tickled to death about that. I know when I got to up here yesterday, I was wringing wet with sweat. Ended up, I know I washed my shorts and my shirt and socks in the shower. When I got a shower, they didn't have laundry, but everything had dried out overnight. But man, there wasn't a dry piece on me when I got up here yesterday. It was hot. But then I'm glad we got up here when we did, because when the rain came, it got real humid. So most of them that was behind me was soaking wet when they come in from the rain. So I guess it's a plus on either side. You're either wet from sweat or wet from the rain. But anyway, the burger was, I got me a burger up here and it was pretty good, and some hot dogs. So anyway, just trucking along.
I'm pretty sure it was you. I wouldn't have been going
it?
backwards, yeah. I'm trying to think. The only times I ever went backwards was when I slack packed.
1,600 miles. That's the man looking at you. Right there. Whatever it is. Well, we in Vermont. Don't know where the welcome to Vermont sign is, but we sure saw a welcome to Mass. Oh, here it is.
No, this ain't.
Welcome to Vermont. And we're going to be in the Long Trail.
What about the sign over
Part
there?
of it. Welcome to the Vermont, the Long Trail, a footpath in the wilderness. And this is the Long Trail. 273 miles, and it parallels it. Well, we're in Vermont. I had already got my foot hung up in the mud, so, but it's been raining since we left the grocery store. We got about a 3-day resupply at the Stop and Shop at the bottom of Greylock, and doing around 16 today, but just trying to, the sun's starting to come back out, so just trying to keep from slipping on these rocks. You know how that is. But it's been a pretty good day. Crossed 1,600 miles and got into Vermont, so I can't complain. 2 pluses. But hauling away. Well, we can see the beavers is at it again. The shelter was full back yonder, so we're going on up through here to see what else we can find. They didn't have no camping or tenting, so trying to find something else.